Hello guys, this is Design Craft. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to look at a very simple party design. So first thing that you're going to do is to change the size of check it. We are using 376 by 376 pixels, the canvas size. So when you do that, the next thing you're going to do is to import your image background that you'll be using for the design. You can decide to just tweak it around or just do something else. Okay, but for the purpose of these tutorials, we are going to make use of this. Let's just import every image that we will need. So, and these are the three images that we'll be needing. So we have this. I think we need to rename this. So let's save our work so it can have a name. We can say party design. Party design. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take the background. This is background we are going to use. So I'm not seeing my layer here. So what you're going to do if you encounter a challenge like this, come to Windows and you see a list of tools here. You click on layers. So I want to drag this layer to my page, to my canvas. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, this is party design. This is what we're going to be needing. So if you look carefully, so what I have to do now is I have to just resize this. um, I have to resize this. So I just have to make it fit, but I feel I'm going to rotate it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip it. Okay, so this is how I want it to be. I want it to be like this. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just allow it, just put all of the background right at the canvas. So by the time I'm done doing this now, I have to remove the background of this image. So let's just delete this, we don't need it. So let's use the quick selection tool. So you click here and you allow Photoshop do the work for you. If you watch carefully, there are some arrangements that we need to make. It didn't cut out the images scale as we wanted it, so we can just change that by right clicking on this and coming to quick selection, and we can increase the size. Okay, sorry, let me undo that, and we can actually adjust this. Okay, we need this to remove. Oh no, sorry, we are trying to remove this part and this other part. I think I'm seeing some hairs up. It actually did not do a good job here, but I think I'm going to sort this out later. Okay, I'll sort this out later manually just to remove this part that was not captured. Okay, so let's strike on control. We can just duplicate this image and keep one should the case we you know do something that we didn't expect. So you strike on Ctrl J, okay, to be able to remove the background. Okay, so if you look at the selection, we still have this part. So I'm just going to reduce. I'm going to manually remove this We're going to use polygon lasso. I'm going to manually remove this. Okay. Um, I'm not trying to be too careful on this, but maybe while you're working on your job, you have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. I don't want this tutorial to be too long, so I'm trying as much as I can to ensure I make it as fast as possible. Even though as I'm making it fast, I'm trying to carry you along. So what we're going to do now is we're going to still strike on Control T for transformation, or you come here and you click. So we're going to have this image here, and we're going to do this. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we'll just put a background here. Um, we're going to put a background here. It's going to be, let's use red. Okay. Um, let's make it double color. We're going to use red and yellow, but the yellow is not going to be too bright. I think something like this it's fair. So by the time we do this, remember, if you look carefully, there is an outline here. I don't know if you can be able to see it, but I can see it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to please don't mind me as I'm using some of these keys. Uh, I'm using the long route so that you can be able to follow. I'm no longer seeing my layer again. So what I will do now is I have to duplicate this. Okay, you strike on Control J. Then you can now rotate it. Strike on Control T to rotate it. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to increase it down to this point because I have intention on fading it. So by the time I do this, what I'm going to do next is, excuse me for that. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to so I'm going to just fade out this part and do that by holding using our brush and putting a max here. You can just right click and to increase it. Okay. So dark is to unveil, black is to conceal. So you strike on X to rather X to swap it to black. So let me increase this and reduce the flow so it will not be too harsh. I think the brush size is much, so I just need something uh, okay. So let me increase this and these values I'm actually toggling. There's no specification. I just know what I want and how to go about it. It's not looking like there is a specific way it should be, but no. Okay, so let me toggle it in and make this place darker. Okay, so by the time we're done with this now, what we're going to do next is we're going to put in some um, shapes here. Let's just finish with all the shapes that we have here. So gonna change this color to I'm gonna change it to yellow, like it's gonna be pure yellow, and it's going to be but I have to make this darker. So I have to make this darker. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just swap it, and I want it to be very, 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 very sharp. So um I want this yellow to be, so I think because of the color, I think the both colors are actually the same. So I think I have to just, change this one a bit. Okay, I have to just change this one a bit. So I think this is okay. So what I'm going to do next is now I'm going to add in a few things. I could add that shape here, but let me change this color to something I feel will work perfectly. Okay, I think it shouldn't be too reddish. I'm trying to look for the color that will best suit this. It's going to be red, but it's not going to be too red. Is it too red? So the blend mode is, I think I'm still not satisfied with this. Okay, I think I'm still not satisfied with, really satisfied with this. Okay. Mm, mm, I think this is okay. I think this is fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, let me just leave it here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just add some few write up. Okay. So I'm gonna pick the text tool and I'll type limitless life. So you will always encounter this problem when your your PC is not, should I say, too high? Yeah, when your PC is not too high. So you're gonna encounter similar problem. I think I'm trying to see something here that I'm going to adjust later. I think I'll actually need a very dark um, red at the bigger shape because the color is looking like both are the same, but I want that little similarity. So at this point, I think I'm going to make it a bit darker. I'm going to make it a bit darker. Um, so I'll make here a bit darker. It actually depends on what you want. Okay, there is no, like I said, there is no specific way on how your design is going to be. Okay, I'm just trying to do something cool. So that being said, I'll have to change my font. So I'll just give this as a tip. For some persons who like fonts, you see, one of the idea of designing is, one of the cool stuff in designing is if you have a good font. Okay, font is one thing that helps communicate the stuff you're doing, and if you don't actually have a good font, it's going to really affect the outcome. So I would suggest you download font, but I'm speaking by experience. When you have a system or a PC that is not high, okay, that the specifications are not high, I would advise you to leave, I would advise you to leave your PC the way it is. I don't know if you understand me. I would advise you to leave your PC the way it is. Don't try to add any any font. Don't try to add any font. I tried doing that while I was still, intoxicated about fonts. And I observed something that at some point my system began to hang. Like it became very, very continuous. So it was like an observation I made. And when I actually deleted it, when I actually uninstalled some fonts, I found out that it came back to normal. So I would advise you to stick to a few fonts. Okay, even if you're going to add some font, I would still advise you to not overload your system with many fonts. Not overload your system with many fonts because in doing so, it's actually going to lower or slow the operation of your PC. So I would really, really advise you to stick to few fonts that you'll be using consistently. Okay. So the next test that we're going to type what's today's Thursday. Okay, let's just put Friday. Fridays are for party. So let's put Friday. So um we're going to use something very italic. Okay. Not too serious. Control T. So I'm gonna use something very italic. So I think this uh let's just see how we can actually tweak the color. The color just a bit. We're not gonna use something actually off. The reason why we will not use white, it is because it is because it does not have an outline. And since it does not have an outline, it's really going to not look cool. So let's just use something a little bit darker and not too dark, still yellow, but so that because the whole idea is for it to be able to communicate, okay? For it to be able to communicate. Um, what I'm going to do at this point is now I have to adjust this and make this a bit smaller. So now my image, I think I'm going to increase it a bit. Okay, I'm going to increase my image and just bring it out a little. Okay, just bring it out a little. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, I don't want to put much right up. Okay, I'm going to try to blend this image, like fancy the image. I'll try to fine tune the image a little. So just try to blend the image. Um, so let's see if we can actually reduce the yellow. We needed something. Okay, this is okay. Black is fine. A little bit darker. I think magenta will be much. Um, okay, the magenta is much. So but let's just. I think it's fine like this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to put all the text. So that is it for that. The other thing is just to add text to it, and I'm just going to skip that part. So these are the major parts. So this is the sample of the design we're going to do. So the rest part I'll just have to skip it for the purpose of time. Okay. There's a way you'll be watching a video and you just want to get into the real deal. So this is exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to get into the real stuff. Okay, I'm just trying to hit the nail on the head and say this is what we have and this is how we're going to do it, and you know stuff like that. I did not finish my text. It's going to be PM. It's going to be PM. So so the rest up is I'll cut it at this point so that you can be able to follow along. Okay. Okay. I'm done doing some write up and all of that. There was something I missed, or I feel that you may not be able to know how I did this dotted line. So let me just give a demo on how I did it. So you just pick an ellipse to here, and we're going to draw a circle. Let me just do this here, and um, let's put it here so that you'll be able to see. Okay. So by the time you do this, what you have to do is to just change the color to white, and no, we are not giving it a color rather. So we are going to just do outline, change the outline color to white, and increase it. Let's use 5. So the moment you do that now, you can be able to, let's see if we can increase it the more. Okay, I think 5 is okay. Okay, let's just use 10 so for clarity. So by the time you do this now on this property bar, okay, you click on this. Okay, so here you have our circular whatever. So that was how I did it. I think I skipped that part for some of us who don't know. So the next thing we are going to do now is we're going to, I think this background is too sharp as compared to the whole concept that we're looking at. So we'll just add something cool. So let's see what we have here. We're going to add something cool. So we're going to drop this here, and we're going to drop this here. So it's going to be on dark color, multiply. No, let's use um let's use linear bond. Yeah, let's use linear bond. It kind of relates with what we are doing. So I'm just going to do this like this, and okay. So this is the last touch for this, and I wouldn't want this thing to look to be much. I think the background is too busy. We can make it from one side, one angle. Nevertheless, so remember what I told you about having. Remember what I said about having a concept, having something that you just want to do, right? Okay, so I think this is cool. So that is it for that, and I don't know which is better. But however you want to do it, It actually depends on you to do it the way that you want. Okay? It actually depends on you. You can just go with that, you can just go with this. So that will be that for now. And if there are any questions you want to ask, please don't forget to comment in the comment section and ask a question and stay tuned till I post my next video. See you. Bye.